So I'd like the Trigg family please stand and be recognized. I think you guys are around someplace. There they are. You'll notice that only 3 of them stood. Bill decided late this summer to retire. And so we now have 3 remaining Triggs, and we just really appreciate you and what you do for the kids in Blue Valley. So congratulations. I want to move on to another characteristic of a happy home, of a successful family, and that's celebration. Let's talk just a little bit about some of the things that we need to celebrate here in Blue Valley. The thing that will probably enable you to celebrate the most is the fact that I've really cut down on the number of slides and statistics that I have to share with you this year. Now, I didn't say I eliminated them. I said I cut them back. But just to get you in the mood, I'm going to start with some celebrations that are not dealing with statistics. Let's talk with celebrating the Hilltop Center. The time and the energy that went into creating a state-of-the-art facility for our early childhood program, for our Parents as Teachers program, really is to be celebrated. We had an open house a week or so ago and had several thousand patrons come through. We've never had that kind of interest in a facility in Blue Valley ever before. And I think one thing is the proximity, where it is, the visibility. I think really stands out. It gives us an opportunity to really have a showcase and to really show what we do for some of the most vulnerable kids that we have in the school district. I want to mention as well that the entire early childhood program is not simply focused at Hilltop. We still have 4 different satellite sites out there. And we don't want to forget that at all. We did some remodeling in those buildings to bring them up to a similar par with the Hilltop Center. And so we're just excited, and we definitely want to celebrate what all's going on there at the Hilltop Center, including our new professional development space. You all will have an opportunity sometime within the next year, I'm sure, to be out there as we now have a space that we can put people around tables, even 400 at a time, as we strengthen our skills and sharpen our saw as educators. Next thing I want to mention is the 13 different buildings that got some kind of an entryway upgrade. So we now have 100% of our schools that have secure entrances. This was a goal of our Board of Education. They asked us to move these projects forward so that we could get them done this summer. It's taken a lot of time and effort and energy to be able to do that, and we have a lot of people that really went above and beyond to see that those entryways, and in some cases expansions of the offices and all, were completed. You know, in addition to that, we had people working all summer that are unsung heroes, whether it's our grounds department, our maintenance department, our custodians, our secretaries. I could go on and on. Those folks that work behind the scenes in the summer so that we can have a productive start to the school year. I'd like all those people to stand and be recognized. If you were on duty this summer, just stand up and be recognized. There are all kinds of Goal 2 successes that we could celebrate. I'm going to pick out just one, but know how much we appreciate all of the Goal 2 work that goes on throughout the school year, because it's coupled with, obviously, our academic successes, this personal growth piece to help the well-rounded and to develop the whole child throughout the education process. I'm going to pick one that's a little bit interesting, maybe unique. You know, back a year ago, we had 2 basketball teams, happened to be boys basketball teams, that played each other for the state championship. That was in 2013. Then last year in 2014, this most recent year, we had 2 basketball teams, 6A, played each other for the state title. Now, you may be thinking I'm going down this path of winning state championships and all that, and while I'm extremely proud of that, that's really not where I'm headed. The exciting thing to me about the last 2 years is all 4 of those teams, and really it wasn't the teams, it was the schools involved. That would have been Blue Valley West, Blue Valley North, and Blue Valley Northwest, because Northwest was there twice. By the way, yes, they did happen to win both times. But my point is this. My point is this, that those 4 teams, those 4 schools all won the Kansas State High School Activities Association Sportsmanship Awards. And that award is not given lightly, believe me. What that means is not only did the coach behave, did the players impress the officials with the way they handled themselves, with their conduct on the court, but the cheerleaders did a great job. The kids in the stands were phenomenal. The administrative team that was there made sure that the kids in the stands did a phenomenal job. The parents all contributed to that. And as I look back the last 3 years, we've actually won 8 different sportsmanship awards just at the state basketball tournament. So let's give all those folks a round of applause. Okay, some statistics now real quickly, okay? ACT. We're anxiously awaiting our new ACT scores, but most of you are probably aware that our ACT scores that we announced after the convocation last year, once again, was a 25.0, tied the highest we've ever had. We continue to be highest in the metro area, highest in the state, one of the best in the nation, particularly to have over 90% of our kids taking that assessment. So ACT scores another outside validation of just what a great job we are doing. And I want to drive home, this doesn't just mean high schools. Folks, these ACT scores start with Wendy Webb. They start with our Parents as Teachers program. They start and come all the way through early childhood, kindergarten, all the way. It's everybody working together to have this kind of an outcome. The second thing I want to share with you, AP exams. Once again, advanced placement. Our mean score continues to go up. End up with more tests being given and higher mean scores. We're really fighting against the tide to do that. But once again, it takes a full family effort to do that. Next thing I want to share with you. Washington Post has a very rigorous criteria, and they select the most outstanding high schools in the country. The state of Kansas had 10 of them this year. 5 of them were Blue Valley. You'll probably remember, okay? You'll probably remember that a year ago, we actually were the only district in the country that had 5 or more high schools that had all 5 make this list. Don't know if that's the case or not. We haven't had time to research that. We will, but my guess is we will be, and if not, we'll be one of only 1 or 2 districts. So, I mean, once again, I think sets us apart, and that's all because of you and the work that you do with kids day in and day out. Okay, last set of slides, and this is the one that, quite frankly, caused me the most sleepless nights. You're probably aware that about a year ago, we started a hashtag Beat Finland campaign. We started giving this PISA exam, which is the same exam that's given all across the world, and we wanted to compare ourselves with countries across the world because of the global economy and because our kids are going to be competing with kids from all over the world for jobs, you know, in the not-too-distant future. Now, the reason this was so stressful for me, quite frankly, was our 15-year-olds that took this test, that you're going to see the results in a minute, they took it last fall. So, I mean, we announced something in the fall, and then they took it in the fall, so we didn't have a chance to do very much, you know, in the way of trying to change anything, you know, in terms of the outcomes. We just needed to really believe in our kids and get those that were randomly selected, which, by the way, we don't get to randomly select them. That's done on a national scale, just to do their very best on the exam. So let me show you real quick. This is the reading results. Okay, this was Finland's score in 09. This was kind of our benchmark score, what we were after, because we scored a year ago. Let's go ahead and put that next one up. We scored 531. We were 5 points behind them. That's why the Beat Finland thing, you know, came into being. Could we beat them? Well, Finland retook it, and lo and behold, look what happened. They got worse. Well, so we should celebrate, right? I mean, we beat them, right? Well, let's show what we actually did. All right, let's take a look at math real quick. Once again, the benchmark score we were trying to beat, 541. What our score was, we were just a little bit behind them, about 6 points behind. We wanted to beat them. What did Finland do when they took it in 2012? They dropped again. Okay. And what happened to us? So lots of encouragement and hard work and effort goes into that. Let's take a look at science. The science is the third one. Finland was the second highest score in the world back in 2009 with their science scores, 554. They do an amazing job on science. Our score lagged behind them considerably. You can see we had, what, a 22-point gain to try to make instead of just a 5 or a 6-point gain. They retook the test. They dropped a little bit, but they still have a very, very high score in the top, 4 or 5 in the world. Let's take a look at our score. 542, hashtag still work to do, okay? Quite frankly, I am extremely proud of our kids, extremely proud of you. We're going to continue to work really hard when it comes to, oh, I forgot that one. This one's all on me. We rehearsed last Friday and I forgot it then too. This slide is simply to show no matter how well we do, we've got our work cut out for us, because look at Shanghai. And we talked about Finland as a short-term goal, Shanghai as a long-term goal, and it may take us a few years to get there, but that's what we're after, all right? That's where we want to go. That's what we want to get to. Thanks for putting that slide up there and reminding me that I was a little bit behind. Okay. Just want to mention how proud I am of everybody for the work that they've done to have those scores.